Hello everyone, Ranjitha here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to share with you a fun and easy project using watercolors. Today I am going to show you how you can make some quick, easy watercolor bookmarks. You do not require any prior experience with watercolors. This is a very beginner friendly or kid friendly project. So let's get started. For making these bookmarks, I am taping down some watercolor paper. This is 300 GSM. I'm also using these watercolors. You can use any watercolors, even the basic student watercolors are good enough. For the painting, I'm using a flat brush, a round brush and a very fine tip brush for detailing. I have a bowl of clean water and then I have some tissues handy to dab off the excess paint and clean my brushes. So let's move ahead into the first bookmark. Firstly, what I am doing is I am giving a clean water wash all over the bookmark. Before going ahead, I want to say I am not a great watercolor artist. I am also experimenting and learning this medium recently. So I just thought I will share with you some simple watercolor bookmarks the way I do them. So after giving a clean water wash, I am taking some shade of blue here and just spreading the watercolor just on the top 1/3 of the bookmark. I'm doing this on the second bookmark as well because I have mixed the color, and the second bookmark also will have a blue shade, so I thought I will do both the bookmarks at a time. For the lower 1/3, I am again giving a clean water wash here. Make sure your paper is wet at all times, and for all these bookmarks I will be demonstrating the wet on wet technique because I like the look of wet on wet technique. In my coming videos I will also demonstrate some other watercolor techniques as possible. So here what I am doing is I've brushed with clean water, I've made my paper wet, and now I am giving a light brownish yellow shade here. Then I am going with a green shade and having light strokes with the brush. I am putting my brush in a straight angle or a 90 degrees to the paper, and I am just lightly making strokes with the brush to look like grass. Now again I'm repeating the same strokes with a darker shade. I'm doing it with brown and then with darker green. On all these bookmarks I am demonstrating very loose florals, the typical watercolor florals. I am not doing any exactly lifelike looking flowers. This makes it very beginner friendly. Even kids can experiment and try these because it's very easy. As you can see here, first I've done it with a flat thick brush. Now I'm doing a much more detailed strokes with finer brush. Now with the same fine tip brush, I'm making random black dots or a little larger than dots randomly. These will be my flower centers. So you do not have to be very precise with the shape, just random black marks I'm making to look like poppy centers. So on this bookmark I will be demonstrating the poppy flowers in my own simple way. Occasionally I will be drying my bookmark every now and then. In case if you are not as hasty as me, then you can let it air dry, but I am very impatient when it comes to such things, so I dry it with my heat gun. Here as you can see, wherever I have put the centers and in other places as well, I'm just making loose poppy looking like flowers. So just dilute your red paint, watercolor paint, and then just make random flowers here and there. Very easy. Even kids can do these, I'm sure, but they turn out to look very beautiful. I'm adding some black splatters to add some more interest to the background. So this finishes our first bookmark, demonstrating some loose poppies. I hope it's looking beautiful. It hardly took me 5 minutes, very quick and easy to make. Now let's move ahead and make the second bookmark. For the second bookmark, we've already made the sky while doing it for the first one. Now I'm repeating the same similar process like for the first one. I've wetted my paper and then I'm adding some brownish yellow randomly. Since I'm a beginner with watercolors, I usually prefer wet on wet technique, because once when I apply water on the paper, the paint takes its own course, and that itself gives a beautiful texture. So as you can see here, I'm going with shades of brown, yellow and a little green here and there. I'm just dabbing the color randomly on a wet surface. Here I am adding some splatters of green, like I did it for the first bookmark. Here also I am painting some thin strokes with dark green using a fine brush. Once I am done with the grass area, now I am taking some bright yellow and just making random flower-like shapes and placing them here and there. I've diluted my paint a lot so that I do not have very formed shapes. I just wanted loose floral look here, like I said. So I'm painting the flowers first, and then I will be doing the flower centers. That's it, we are done with our second bookmark as well. I will come back again and add some more highlights once it's dry. So let's move ahead to the third bookmark. First, I am coating the bookmark with some clean water, and while the paper is still wet, I am adding some blue watercolor paint, and I am letting the paint flow by itself. This gives beautiful floral shapes. I really like the texture achieved with the watercolor while it is flowing by itself. I am letting it dry for a while, and then I will add some more paint wherever I require some more darker shades. Once I am happy with the florals, I am making the flower centers. For this, I have diluted some black watercolor paint and I am adding the flower centers. I am not making it look very circular in shape. I am just adding some random flower centers. For this, the paint has to be a little dilute. Once I am happy and done with my flowers, I will be adding the stalks for these flowers. I am doing it with a fine tip brush. If you are not sure of doing it with a fine tip brush, you can add it with a fine marker or like a micron pen or any other gel pen as well. And at the end, I'm adding some yellowish green wash to my background. I'm not coating a thick paint. I'm just adding some color to add some interest to my background. I didn't want it to be plain white. With this, we are finishing our third bookmark. I will come back and add some more highlights with a fine tip marker later once everything is dried. Let's move ahead and make the last bookmark. This one is my favorite. For this bookmark, I'm going ahead and trying to paint some roses here. Like I've done with the other bookmarks, here also I've coated my bookmark with clean water first, and then I'm adding some light green to the bottom part. I'm letting the watercolor flow by itself initially. And you can do it with a thick round brush, and if you want it to look more even, like I'm doing it here, you can go ahead and wet your flat brush and just spread the ink here. So the concept is I want a darker green on the base and I want the green to get lighter as it reaches the top part of the bookmark. While my bookmark is still wet, I am adding some loose floral shapes here with pink. You do not have to be very precise. You will end up making them look like roses at the end, don't worry. So I'm just adding pink shapes here and there to look like flowers. So I'm not adding it as a blob, but I'm just having thin strokes in circular, random strokes in circular way, like spirals or whatever you can call it. You can see it in the video how I'm doing it. I'm letting the first coat dry properly before I add some more thicker watercolor. Once my first layer is dry, I'm going ahead with a thin brush and a little thicker paint, and I'm adding strokes here. These strokes are in circular manner, but they are not continuous, just intermittent strokes here. I hope you can understand when you see the video. This makes them look like roses. If you're a watercolor expert and you're watching this video, please do not judge my skills. I'm a very beginner artist, but I thought this is a very fun medium to play with, and it's very interesting. So I thought I will share it with others who are yet to experiment this medium. So here my loose roses are ready, loose florals that look like roses are ready. Once I'm happy with these roses, I will go ahead and add the leaves and flower stalks. That's it. Our fourth bookmark is almost done. I'm just adding random leaves here and there, and I will be adding some splatters also to add some more interest. Once this bookmark is dry, I will go ahead and add highlights to the other bookmarks using a fine tip marker. Once my bookmarks are dry, I am going ahead and adding some details with my fine tip pen. I am just adding some loose doodles here and there, some fine lines. This will add so much more interest to the floral images that we've made with watercolors. Before going ahead with this step, make sure you're using a water resistant pen, or if you do not have a water resistant pen, use it only when your watercolor is completely dry. And next, after I'm done with my fine tip marker, I'm going ahead with a white gel pen and I'm adding highlights here and there. These steps look so simple, but in the final image it added so much more interest to my flowers. Just a dash of white color here and there brings in so much more life to these flowers. This is my best part. I'm peeling off these masking tapes, and I will be cutting these bookmarks into size. So this was my way of making some loose watercolor florals and turning them into bookmarks. I hope you like this video, and you will also definitely give a try if you haven't tried watercolors until now. This is a very forgiving medium. You can make beautiful art pieces in just no time. As you have seen, I have hardly taken 5 to 10 minutes for each bookmark. In case if you want to make them as a bunch and you want to gift it to your friends or keep it for yourself, this is a very easy way of doing it. You can make a bunch of them in just no time. So here are my finished watercolor bookmarks. I will just cut them into size. You can see the close-up images of the finished bookmarks here. I really liked how beautiful they turned out, and with absolutely no effort at all. And for a beginner watercolor artist like me, I think this is a very good achievement. So I'm sure I was of some inspiration to you, and you will also give a try in making such beautiful bookmarks. Me and my daughter love reading, and having such beautiful bookmarks in our books make us more and more interested towards reading. I hope you will also give this a try. And if at all you get inspired by my video and you make some bookmarks for yourself, make sure you share it with me as well on my social media. I would love to see your art pieces as well. I really hope I was of some inspiration to you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Also, if you haven't done it yet, kindly consider subscribing to my channel and tap on that notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Also, do follow me on my social media where I share many more card making and other craft photos that I do. The links are given in the description box below. Thank you.